What's up, beautiful beings? Welcome back to the Improve Humanity Games boss hunting guide. Today we're going to the Animus dungeon. Where you can go is actually up to Shadowar. That's where the dungeon is, and teleport directly to the dungeon. I'm circling it right now. So the Animus dungeon holds the final boss, which is called Drakul The Diabolic. And this boss level is level 230. You must be level 180 to enter. I consider the health low to medium and the damage is very low. Most of the time all it does is do it like magic attacks where it poisons you. And the funny thing is the poison attacks are usually only like 300 damage. So it's pretty easy. And the only thing that gets a little bit annoying is when it debuffs you. There is an ability that it has to debuff you. And then you have to buff yourself and it kind of gets a little obnoxious and it stuns you and that sort of thing. But it is pretty easy to kill. So there's two ways to get drops in this dungeon. There's treasure boxes around in the different rooms, and I'm going to get to the drops in a second, but there's also the final boss again. So this is a little bit tricky. I'm going to hopefully go through this dungeon as best as I can. It's the same as the Cursed Animus. You spawn right here, you walk down the first hallway, take a left, and then the first mini-boss is there. You'd walk down the hallway up top, take another left, and there's another mini-boss. And then you walk down the hallway again, and guess what? You take another left, and the first left, you go into that room, and then there's a third mini-boss. You go out and circle back around to the final mini-boss, which is a little bit harder than the other ones, and then eventually you can move on to the final room and kill the final boss. So again, there's three little bosses. They're like little ants. There's little mice. Actually, it's not a mice. There's one big mouse, I guess you could call it. And I think it's a scorpion or something like that. So as you can see, these bosses are super easy to kill, and you have to kill them to get the final boss to spawn. The treasure boxes are located within these rooms, and I'll tell you what they drop right now. They drop beads, Sacred Bead of Gladiator, Sacred Bead of the Guardian, Sacred Bead of Bubble, Sacred Bead of Shade's Torment, and Sacred Bead of Iblis. You can drop between 1 and 3 of these per box, and I mean 1 and 3 sacred beads. And here we go. Here's the final main, like the biggest mini boss, which is a little bit harder to kill, but again, it's pretty easy to kill. So now on to the main boss. This is what he looks like. He usually just uses attacks, and as you can see, I think this was actually hilarious because we got stunned right off the back, and that's just kind of annoying. And as you can see, the health isn't too much. It's pretty easy to kill in relation to the other bosses in the future. I did die though. I wasn't paying attention. I don't really know what happened. Sometimes you just die, and that's okay as long as you have resurrection scrolls. So the drops that you can get are as follows: 7% cards, 8 cards, gold keys up to rare, silver keys up to rare, swiftness sets, and swiftness weapons. So swiftness stuff is level 200, and it's decently valuable. I mean, if you are new, it's pretty valuable, but if you want to sell it in this current economy, you're probably only going to get about 10 Perrin to 50 Perrin, depending on the piece. Now, again, this is current economic system, and not in 5 months. It might be different, of course. The re-enter time is 3 hours, and if you want the text version of this, I'm pretty much just making a video off the text version of a very helpful guide on the Insanity Flyff forums. There will be a link in the description. I hope this was helpful. If you guys enjoyed, a like would be much appreciated, and thank you guys so much for watching. Adios.